you ever felt as though you're investing far more into a relationship than you're getting back? It's a common predicament, leaving us to ponder whether the other person truly values our presence or merely sees us as a means to an end. This situation is reminiscent of a traveler in the desert, trying to differentiate a true oasis from a mere mirage in the vast expanse of human interaction. In the realm of Stoicism, we are reminded of the importance of equanimity and the understanding of what is within our control and what is not. Just as a Stoic faces life's challenges with a calm and resilient spirit, we too must approach our relationships with a sense of detachment and wisdom. It's essential to recognize our own value and ensure that our generosity of spirit is not exploited but reciprocated in kind. Navigating the complexities of human relationships with a Stoic mindset encourages us to reflect on the nature of our connections. Are we fostering a mutual exchange, where both parties grow and benefit, or are we allowing ourselves to be drained, giving without receiving? The Stoic teaches us to seek balance and harmony, to engage in relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding, and to gracefully withdraw from those that are not. This approach doesn't just protect our well-being, it also leads us to more meaningful and fulfilling interactions. Wait, before we dive deeper into this, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on my valuable content. Comment, "I subscribe," below, and I'll personally welcome you to the Stoic family. With that said, let's get started. Are you being used? 17 sure ways to recognize if someone is using you. Stoicism. 1. Backhanded compliments. Have you ever received a compliment that, instead of making you feel good, left you feeling slightly offended or diminished? These are known as backhanded compliments, and they're a subtle form of criticism disguised as praise. For example, someone might say, "You're really smart for someone who didn't go to college," or "I didn't expect you to get the job, but congratulations." At first glance, these comments might seem positive, but they carry an underlying negative implication that undermines your achievements or qualities. Backhanded compliments can be particularly harmful because they're not always easy to respond to. You might feel confused about whether you're being praised or insulted, and this ambiguity can erode your self-esteem over time. It's as if each backhanded compliment is a small drop of water, seemingly harmless on its own, but with the power to gradually wear down the rock of your self-confidence. These comments often come from people who might feel threatened by your accomplishments or jealous of your abilities. Instead of expressing genuine admiration or support, they use these veiled insults to assert their own superiority or to make themselves feel better by putting you down. Recognizing these comments for what they are, disguised criticisms, can help you maintain your confidence and not let others' insecurities impact how you see yourself. 2. Empty promises. We've all encountered individuals who are all talk and no action. They're the ones who make grandiose promises, setting the stage with beautiful words and ambitious plans that create a vision of exciting possibilities. However, when the time comes to turn those words into reality, they're nowhere to be found. Their commitments evaporate, leaving you disappointed and questioning their sincerity. The problem with empty promises isn't just the unfulfilled expectations. It's the pattern of trust erosion that occurs over time. Initially, you might be swept away by the enthusiasm and the seemingly sincere pledges. Yet, as these promises continue to go unmet, a pattern emerges. It becomes clear that these grand declarations were never grounded in reality, but were instead a way to manipulate or temporarily placate you. This behavior can be particularly damaging in personal and professional relationships. In personal relationships, it leads to feelings of betrayal and a sense of being undervalued. In professional contexts, it undermines teamwork and erodes trust. Understanding that actions speak louder than words is crucial in these situations. Observing consistency between what people say and what they do is a reliable measure of their integrity. Recognizing the red flags of empty promises allows you to set appropriate boundaries and protect yourself from potential disappointment and mistrust. 3. One-way street. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where it feels like you're rowing a two-person boat all by yourself? You're there, paddling tirelessly, providing emotional support, maybe even financial assistance, or simply being the rock the other person leans on. Yet, when you look over your shoulder, hoping to find them rowing alongside you, you're met with the sight of them just along for the ride, not contributing at all. This imbalance is a red flag, signaling that the relationship is veering into a one-way street territory. In a healthy relationship, efforts should be like a tennis match, back and forth, with both parties serving and returning. But when you find yourself constantly on the giving end, it can lead to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and even loneliness. It's crucial to recognize this dynamic and address it. Communication is key. Expressing your feelings and setting boundaries can sometimes rebalance the scales. However, if the pattern persists, it might be time to reconsider the value this relationship adds to your life. Remember, a true partnership thrives on mutual effort and shared journeys, not on one person carrying the entire load. 4. Ignoring your needs. Imagine you're the author of a book, but somehow, you've ended up as a minor character in your own story. This is what it feels like when your needs and feelings are consistently sidelined in a relationship. You're there, supporting the other person, attending to their needs, celebrating their successes, and comforting them in their failures. But when it's your turn to share, your voice seems to fade into the background, unheard and unacknowledged. This dynamic is not just unfair, it's unsustainable. Every individual deserves to have their emotions, needs, and aspirations recognized and valued within a relationship. Being continuously overlooked can erode your self-esteem and leave you questioning your worth. It's essential to bring this imbalance to light, to engage in open and honest dialogue with your partner about how this makes you feel. A relationship should be a shared space where both individuals can express themselves freely and be met with empathy and understanding. If your attempts to restore balance are met with indifference, it might be a sign that the relationship isn't serving your best interests. Remember, you are the protagonist of your life story, and your narrative is just as important as anyone else's. 5. Emotional roller coaster. Dealing with someone who seems to have a map of your emotional buttons can be both confusing and exhausting. One moment, they're showering you with compliments and attention, making you feel like the most important person in the world. This surge of positivity can be intoxicating, lifting you to euphoric heights where everything seems bright and hopeful. However, this state is often short-lived. Before you know it, the same person who built you up with their words and gestures can swiftly pull the rug out from under you, criticizing you or diminishing your achievements, leaving you feeling small and insignificant. This whiplash of emotions isn't accidental. It's a form of emotional manipulation designed to keep you in a state of dependency. By controlling the emotional climate of the relationship, they ensure that you're constantly seeking their approval and validation. It's a way to keep you off balance, never quite sure where you stand, which makes you more malleable to their needs and desires. This tactic can be particularly damaging because it targets your sense of self-worth, making it challenging to maintain a stable sense of identity and self-esteem. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward reclaiming your emotional equilibrium. It's crucial to understand that your worth is not tied to the whims of someone else's approval, and that a healthy relationship should make you feel secure, not perpetually uncertain. 6. Fair-weather friends. We've all encountered those individuals who seem incredibly supportive and present when everything in our lives is going smoothly. They're there for the celebrations, the easy times, and the moments of joy, basking in the warmth of your shared happiness. However, the true test of friendship and loyalty comes not during these periods of calm, but in the storms that inevitably arise in life. Fair-weather friends are those who are conspicuously absent during these challenging times. When you find yourself in need of support, whether it's a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, or just someone to stand by your side, they are nowhere to be found. This pattern of behavior reveals a conditional approach to relationships, where their presence is dependent on the benefits they derive from the association, rather than a genuine commitment to you as a person. True friendship, in contrast, is unwavering and unconditional. It's about standing together not only in the sunshine, but also in the rain, offering support and solidarity when it's needed most. The realization that someone is a fair-weather friend can be disheartening, but it also offers a valuable lesson in discerning who is truly deserving of your time, trust, and energy. Cultivating relationships with those who demonstrate steadfastness in all seasons of life ensures a support system that is both genuine and resilient. 7. Competitive edge. When a relationship feels more like a constant battleground for superiority rather than a safe haven for mutual growth, it can be incredibly draining. Imagine every conversation turning into a contest where each person's achievements, no matter how small, become fodder for competition. Instead of sharing joys and celebrating each other's victories, there's an underlying tension, a need to prove oneself better or more successful. This relentless competition creates an environment where genuine connection and support take a back seat to the desire to come out on top. This competitive dynamic can seep into every interaction, turning what should be collaborative moments into opportunities for one-upmanship. It's as if every shared experience needs a winner and a loser, overshadowing the essence of companionship, which is about lifting each other up. The joy found in simple togetherness is replaced by the stress of constant comparison, making it hard to feel truly valued for who you are rather than what you achieve. In such a setting, the relationship becomes more about keeping score than about sharing a journey, leaving little room for the vulnerability and trust that are the hallmarks of a deep and meaningful connection. 8. Costing when needed most. There's a profound disappointment that comes when someone you count on vanishes during your darkest hours. It's as if they're a fair-weather friend, present for the sunny days, but absent at the first sign of a storm. This behavior, often referred to as ghosting, can leave you feeling abandoned and questioning the foundation of the relationship. It's one thing to enjoy good times together, but the true test of any relationship is how it stands up to challenges and adversity. When someone disappears just when you need support, it's a stark indication of their lack of genuine commitment. It's like having a safety net that vanishes the moment you fall, leaving you to face your struggles alone. This can lead to feelings of betrayal and a sense of isolation, exacerbating whatever hardships you're already enduring. The realization that you can't rely on someone you thought was a pillar in your life is not just disappointing. It's a profound emotional blow. True bonds are forged in the fires of adversity, where support and presence are unwavering, not conditional on convenience or comfort. Oh, and by the way, before we get to number 9, if you're getting value in this video, hit the like button right now. And if you don't want to miss out on my next mind-blowing Stoic video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload it. And then, go to the comment section below and type, "I subscribe," and I'll personally welcome you to the Stoic community. With that said, let's continue. 9. Lack of reciprocity. Finding balance in giving and receiving. In any healthy relationship, there's an ebb and flow of give and take that keeps the connection strong and vibrant. Imagine it like a dance where both partners move in sync, each contributing to the rhythm and harmony of the relationship. However, when you find yourself constantly on the giving end, always the one making plans, offering support, and investing your time and energy without seeing much in return, it might be time to pause and reflect. This one-sided dynamic can leave you feeling drained, undervalued, and sometimes even invisible. True reciprocity isn't about keeping score or making sure everything is exactly 50-50ths at all times. Relationships don't work like a math problem. Instead, it's about the sense of fairness and mutual support that comes from knowing your partner will be there for you just as you are for them. It's about feeling appreciated and knowing that your efforts to maintain and nurture the relationship are recognized and reciprocated in meaningful ways. When this balance is off, it can lead to resentment and a feeling of loneliness, even when you're technically not alone. Addressing this imbalance often requires open communication, expressing your feelings and needs, and sometimes making the difficult decision to step back if the pattern doesn't change. Remember, a relationship is a partnership, and both parties should feel valued and fulfilled. 10. Betrayal, the deep wound of broken trust. Trust is the bedrock of any meaningful relationship. It's built slowly, over time, through consistent actions, honesty, and openness. When trust is shattered by lies, deceit, or betrayal, it's not just the immediate hurt that's devastating. It's the lingering doubt and loss of security that can erode the foundation of the relationship. Betrayal can take many forms, from small lies and broken promises to more significant acts of disloyalty and infidelity. Each act of betrayal chips away at the trust that was once held sacred, leaving behind a chasm that can be incredibly difficult to bridge. Recovering from betrayal is a journey that requires much more than just a simple apology or a promise to never do it again. It involves a deep, often painful process of reflection, accountability, and rebuilding. For the one who has been betrayed, it's about grappling with feelings of anger, sadness, and confusion, and deciding whether the relationship can and should be salvaged. For the betrayer, it's about understanding the impact of their actions, making amends, and demonstrating a genuine commitment to change. In some cases, moving forward might mean parting ways, especially if the betrayal is a symptom of deeper issues that cannot be resolved. In others, it might lead to a stronger, more resilient relationship built on a renewed understanding and a firmer commitment to each other. But regardless of the outcome, the shadow of betrayal is a stark reminder of the fragility of trust and the importance of treating it with the utmost care. 11. Selective availability. Have you ever had a friend or partner who seems to vanish into thin air whenever you need them, yet magically appears when they need something from you? This pattern, known as selective availability, is a telltale sign that the relationship might be more one-sided than you'd like to admit. True, meaningful relationships are built on mutual support and availability, not just on being present when it's convenient or beneficial for one party. Selective availability can be incredibly frustrating. Imagine planning to catch up with a friend, sharing something important, or needing a shoulder to lean on, only to find they're suddenly too busy or unresponsive. Yet when the tables turn, they expect you to drop everything for them. This inconsistency isn't just annoying. It makes you question the depth and sincerity of the connection. Relationships should be about give and take, where both individuals are equally committed to supporting each other, regardless of the circumstances. In a genuine relationship, both parties make an effort to be there for each other, not just during the highs, but also through the lows. It's about showing up, whether it's a simple phone call to check in or being there in person during tough times. When someone is only selectively available, it undermines the very foundation of trust and mutual respect that healthy relationships are built on. Recognizing this pattern is crucial because it allows you to reassess the relationship's value and consider setting boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. 12. Guilt tripping. Then there's the emotional whirlpool of guilt tripping, a manipulative tactic that some people use to sway you into doing things against your will, using your sense of duty, kindness, or obligation as leverage. It's a form of emotional blackmail that's not just unfair, it's downright draining. When someone guilt trips you, they're essentially saying, if you really cared about me, you would do this, regardless of your own feelings, circumstances, or well-being. This manipulation can take many forms, from subtle hints and passive-aggressive comments to outright statements that make you feel selfish or uncaring for setting boundaries or saying no. For instance, a friend might remind you of that one time they helped you out, implying that you now owe them a favor, or a family member might play on your emotions, suggesting that you don't spend enough time with them, making you feel guilty for pursuing your own interests or obligations. Guilt tripping can be particularly harmful because it not only pressures you into doing things you might not want to, but also erodes your self-esteem and autonomy. It can make you second-guess your decisions and feelings, leading to a cycle of resentment and obligation that's hard to break. Recognizing and addressing guilt tripping in a relationship is vital for maintaining your emotional integrity. It involves setting clear boundaries, communicating openly about how these manipulations affect you, and, if necessary, reevaluating the relationship to ensure it's based on mutual respect and genuine affection, not obligation and guilt. 13. Lack of genuine interest. Imagine you're having a conversation where you're the only one actively listening, nodding along, and engaging with what's being said. But when it's your turn to share, you're met with blank stares, hurried nods, or even a quick subject change. This isn't a true exchange. It's more like you're an audience to a solo performance. Genuine conversations are like a tennis match where the ball is constantly in motion, moving back and forth between players. If you find yourself perpetually serving the ball with no one hitting it back, it's a sign of imbalance. This lack of reciprocation can leave you feeling undervalued and unheard. It's important to have relationships where your thoughts, feelings, and experiences are welcomed and engaged with, where there's a genuine curiosity about your life, and where conversations are a shared journey, not a one-way street. 14. Superficial closeness. On the surface, some relationships might look picture perfect. You share laughs, hang out often, and seem to get along great. However, if these connections falter the moment you hit a rough patch, they might not be as solid as you thought. Superficial closeness is like a fair-weather friend scenario. They're there for the sunshine, but nowhere to be found when the storm hits. A true connection is tested and strengthened, not just in the good times, but in the challenging ones as well. It's about standing by each other when things aren't easy, offering a shoulder to lean on, and being a consistent presence. This depth and commitment are what differentiate a meaningful relationship from one that's just surface level. If you find your so-called close relationships fizzling out when you're in need, it might be time to reassess and seek out those who value and nurture deeper bonds. 15. Disrespect. Disrespect can manifest in many ways, from belittling comments and undermining your opinions to outright ignoring your boundaries. Consistent disrespect is a glaring red flag that the person doesn't value you or the relationship as they should. Mutual respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. It's about acknowledging each other's worth, treating each other with kindness, and honoring each other's boundaries. When disrespect becomes a pattern, it erodes trust and affection, leaving little room for a genuine connection to flourish. It's vital to address disrespectful behavior early on, setting clear boundaries and expectations. If the pattern persists, it may be a sign to reevaluate the relationship's place in your life. Remember, everyone deserves to be treated with respect and dignity, and settling for anything less can be detrimental to your self-esteem and overall well-being. 16. Taking more than giving. In any healthy and fulfilling relationship, there's an unspoken balance where both individuals invest in each other's well-being, sharing their time, energy, and sometimes even material resources. This mutual exchange is the lifeblood of a strong bond, ensuring that both people feel valued and supported. However, it's not uncommon to find oneself in a situation where this balance is skewed, where you're the one always reaching out, always available, and always giving, while the other person's contributions seem minimal or even non-existent. This continuous one-sided effort can lead to feelings of being underappreciated and emotionally drained. Imagine yourself as a well of water, providing essential sustenance to those around you. If water is only ever drawn out but never replenished, eventually the well will run dry. Similarly, when you're always the giver, you risk depleting your emotional reserves, leaving you feeling empty and worn out. True companionship is about reciprocity. It's a dance of give and take where both partners are equally invested in each other's happiness and growth. When this balance is absent, it's crucial to reassess the relationship and communicate your needs. Remember, it's not selfish to expect a fair exchange of support and affection in any relationship. Ensuring that your generosity is met with equal kindness is fundamental to maintaining your emotional health and ensuring the longevity of the bond. 17. lack of emotional depth. On the surface, a relationship might appear to be smooth sailing with pleasant conversations and enjoyable moments spent together. However, a closer look may reveal a lack of emotional depth, where interactions barely scratch the surface, avoiding the deeper, more meaningful exchanges that forge a strong connection. This scenario is akin to perpetually wading in the shallow end of a pool, never daring to dive into the deeper, more vibrant waters where the essence of true companionship lies. A relationship lacking in depth often shies away from discussions about personal fears, ambitions, dreams, and vulnerabilities. It's in these deep, sometimes challenging conversations that the foundation of trust and understanding is built. Without this, the relationship may feel superficial, akin to acquaintances rather than partners in the journey of life. Cultivating emotional depth requires courage and a willingness to be vulnerable, opening up about one's innermost thoughts and feelings. It's about creating a safe space where both individuals can share their joys, sorrows, fears, and dreams without judgment. This level of openness and trust transforms a superficial connection into a meaningful, fulfilling relationship that truly enriches your life. If you find your interactions lacking this depth, consider initiating deeper conversations or exploring shared experiences that can bring you closer. Remember, a meaningful relationship thrives on the courage to be vulnerable and the strength to support each other through life's ups and downs. What to do? Taking positive steps forward. Identifying these red flags is crucial in steering your relationships toward a healthier and more fulfilling direction. Once you've acknowledged the signs, the next step involves assertive action to ensure your emotional well-being isn't compromised. 1. Setting clear boundaries. Establishing boundaries is like drawing a personal map that outlines how you expect to be treated. It's about clearly communicating what is acceptable and what isn't in the way others interact with you. These boundaries are essential in maintaining your dignity and ensuring mutual respect in any relationship. 2. Open and honest communication. Engaging in transparent and sincere conversations is the cornerstone of any strong relationship. It's about sharing your feelings, expectations, and concerns without fear of judgment. This open dialogue fosters understanding and empathy, paving the way for deeper connections and resolving potential conflicts constructively. 3. Prioritizing your well-being. Above all, it's paramount to remember that your mental and emotional health should always take precedence. This might involve making tough decisions, such as stepping back from relationships that drain you or seeking support from friends, family, or professionals. Cultivating self-care practices, nurturing your hobbies, and spending time in reflection are all ways to reinforce your emotional resilience. 4. Embracing self-respect and kindness. Always remind yourself that you are deserving of respect, kindness, and consideration in every interaction. Accepting anything less undermines your worth and can lead to a cycle of negative relationships. By valuing yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you, attracting more positive and nurturing relationships into your life. Embarking on this journey requires courage, self-reflection, and sometimes a willingness to let go of relationships that no longer serve your best interests. Remember, fostering a few deep, meaningful connections is far more enriching than maintaining numerous superficial ones. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic, and keep striving for the best version of yourself. If you found this insight valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, keep growing and stay stoic.